Guys, it's me, Ben.
I'm Tommy.
And I'm running out of funny things to say with this.
You are not a funny person.
I...
That was really mean.
Ouch.
That's not true.
Thanks for watching.
I probably wouldn't do this if he wasn't a funny person.
No, we're talking board games.
And today we're going to be talking about a newish game. This came out in 2017, yeah?
Kickstarted in 2017. I think it
really?
delivered to backers like December-ish.
Okay.
But it just retailed like 2 weeks ago.
By the way, it's Path of Light and Shadows by Indie Board and Cards.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, enjoy the photos as I explained. This is a pseudo deck building game, I suppose you could call it. It's
a deck builder.
It's a take on deck building.
Yeah. It's a unique, yeah.
So as you're deck building, you're upgrading your cards essentially. And you're drawing new cards based on the territories in which you reside. It's not necessarily a market that you're purchasing cards from. But,
no, correct.
You were managing and building this deck all in an effort to conquer territories on this map that start with an innate defense, and you conquer them with strength. And then you can also take away, conquer areas that other people have conquered. But at the same time, you're also working on building structures, kind of in this tech tree of ways, as well as upgrading and promoting cards, culling them out of your deck.
Right.
All in an effort mainly to be either merciful or cruel. Those are the kind of two paths you choose.
Right.
Hence, Path of Light and Shadow, by either having a very thin deck as you are culling and showing cruelty.
Which you can still call if you have a merciful deck. It's just not as efficient.
It's not as efficient. It's much more difficult to do it well. And then being merciful is piling on the cards. I'm getting a really big fat deck.
Yeah.
But it's an area control game, hand management, tech trees, deck building.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this game is the differences between the cruelty and the...
Mercy.
And I shouldn't say that because if I'm being 100% honest, I don't think there are that many differences between the two. Mm-hmm. I think that what this game does, it seems to me, it's like, man, there's really no difference between culling your deck or not culling your deck. It's really just being more efficient or less efficient. But in this, it's like, what if going one of those routes gave you special abilities?
Added ability or benefits, yeah.
And that's really all this does with the cruelty and the mercy.
Yeah,
that's
that
my
whole light and
about
shadow.
It's almost
cut and dry.
Superfluous, if you ask me. There's not much to it. There are some cards that give you abilities for being so cruel or so merciful, or having full cruelty or full mercy. It's basically just a point track that you're going up, but there's no there's no consequence for doing specific things.
No.
Right? Like, if you're cruel, for example, you don't really want to be taking too many cards. You can, at the end of your turn, whatever territory you're in, you can draw 1 or 2 cards from that territory. But if you take 2, you have to take.
You gain a mercy.
You gain a mercy. So it benefits those people who are going heavy mercy.
Yeah.
So there's not, like I said, there's cards that benefit each one, but it really just doesn't, like...
Once you commit to one...
That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing...
It's foolish to be going up and down without going one direction. Yeah. You're not getting anything from it. Your deck isn't overly efficient. You're not getting these amazing abilities on your cards.
There's almost no choices in the, like, oh, should I do this to lose a cruelty? Or to...
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm just going to do this because that's how...
Is culling a card worth not getting closer to 12 mercy? No.
Right.
Is drawing an extra card not worth moving one step closer?
Because once you get to the top of each track, every point in that respective track that you would receive is a victory point.
Yeah,
which isn't huge, honestly. At least in the game that we played, it wasn't like, oh, I gained 20 mercy.
Well, the thing was, everyone did it.
Right.
We got 2 people at the full cruelty and 2 people at full mercy, and so we
see
all
why
kind of zeroed out at points. For every point that I got, he got, and he got, and he got.
Right. And I don't see why you wouldn't do that. They're free points, and you get the most amount of benefits from the cards.
Yeah.
It's almost like, how can I get there quickest?
Yeah.
You pick what you're going to do at the beginning of the game. I'm either going cruel or I'm going mercy. And then you race there pretty much.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, it's a unique twist on deck building, but I don't think that it's anything innovative or groundbreaking.
Okay.
But
you got this for 2 reasons.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us?
Area control and hand management.
And what do you think? How do you think it deals with both of those?
So the area control is interesting. the fact that you have these fortresses, towers,
Mm-hmm.
provinces that you're taking over, you're attacking them with dice.
Right.
But there's the ruin symbols on the dice.
Right.
And for every ruin you roll, whether you conquer it or not, it takes away these pieces from it.
Really cool concept.
Yeah, making it weaker. So it's
Yeah.
like, the war is, raging and it's taking a toll on the province and it's becoming more and more weak.
Right.
But once you do capture it, maybe a turn or two later, now it's worth less points to you because it's a weaker territory.
But you only score at the end of each year, which
You
are
do.
4 turns between a year.
So 3 years. So there's 3 possible scorings.
Yeah. For those specific things.
Yeah, for holding these towers.
Right.
So it's interesting. And once someone comes and tries to take something from you, it's almost not that beneficial to them because you've caused ruin to it. By the time they take it from you, they've caused ruin to it.
Other than the allies, I feel like that was the
That's
only
the
reason to
incentive.
keep things was for those allies.
So what are the allies?
The allies are they have specific requirements like maintain 2 windmills or control these specific different provinces, and you get benefits from it.
They're points at the end.
They're
a
points.
small handful of points,
Yeah.
and then some sort of ability or something.
Yeah. All in all, the whole capturing area control aspect of the game, and this is, you said that you got this for area control and hand management. I do not like area control. I like area
As a
majority.
I mean, yes, which this is not.
This is not. The problem I have with area control is I go, wow, I finally got that. That was so difficult. And then somebody comes in and they're like, oh, 27. Looks like I got it.
All your hard work.
It's like, wow, that
Pretty
I can't
nuts.
even, there's like nothing I can do there. The
Yeah.
only benefit the only bonus that you get from this is defending. And you get a very nice defensive bonus.
Yeah, it's difficult to take the province from someone.
If it's heavily fortified. Now, as people keep attacking it, obviously because of those ruin symbols, it
weakens,
loses strength, which is another incentive to attack because you're taking points away from people.
But you're also not gaining points.
Yeah, you're not doing anything until you take it over. So it's a lot of wasted turns, I feel. And I feel like a lot of this game is you versus the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking that there is another level of metagame in this.
You think so?
Where, because you have to be able to cooperate with the people around the table and say, Joe Schmo is getting so many points from his province over there.
You mean verbally or like
Yeah.
like with the people that aren't winning or that
Yeah,
are behind?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
Because it's like, if I go and I attack him and try and take that from him, it's going to take me 3 or 4 turns because of how fortified that, and that's not going to benefit me. And you guys are going to keep gaining points, right?
Yeah.
So, I attack him 1 turn, but then they need to know, whether verbally or unverbally, that if I take a couple shots at him, they need to take shots at him too, because I'm not going to sit there and waste all my time whittling him down while I'm not getting any
Games
points.
like that are so hard, and you know why? Because it's different when it's like, you need to attack him or he wins the game. We all jump on him, and, we all stop him from winning the game.
Yeah.
This is like, you need to attack him or he won't get points. So what? I'm not going to get any points for doing it. And then it gets to the end, and he got like 80 points from that one territory that nobody attacked him at.
But the redeeming thing is there's other ways to get points in this game.
Yes, there are a lot of ways.
Territory control is one way. Maybe not even the primary way, depending on how the dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
If a couple of those territories take a couple big hits and get a lot of ruin, if it's 7-10 points 3 times over the game, that's 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be a substantial amount. So you also have these buildings that you're upgrading or building on your turn.
Yeah, I would avoid the term buildings just because it's basically a tech tree.
It's a tech tree. That's what they call it, is building in the rule book.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't.
It's a weak term.
It's a tech tree. Basically, you have like a few different options, and they're geared specifically towards different
play styles.
Right, either mercy or
Yeah.
cruelty.
So one of them gives you incentives for building. Now your buildings cost less. Another one gives you incentive for promoting. Your promotions cost less. And another one lets you reroll dice when you attack, or add a defender when you attack.
Gives you defense, yeah.
Yeah, so there's different things, but if you get all the way to the top tier, it gives you, each tier you get on these buildings gives you more and more points. But if you get to the top tier, which is the 4th step, which is the hardest to do, you're spending a lot of
building
actions to do it. It gives you bonus points for some other, accomplishment, whether it be the other level 4 tiers or the number of cards in your deck that score. Or whatever.
And you can get quite a bit of points from those, especially if you can max out on a few.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing about that. you're getting these things and you're probably foregoing doing other things.
Yes.
Because you have a hand of cards.
Hand management.
Hand
now
management.
Now we're stepping into that second phase.
This is really where it comes into play. You have this hand of cards, and you have to decide what you're going to do with those. Either attack, because you need to use cards to attack, or discard them to upgrade, because you need to have cards to upgrade.
Upgrade, like, your cards. Or upgrade
your buildings. You also upgrade your cards, promoting your cards gives you points as well. There's a lot of different things to do with your cards.
Culling, removing cards.
Culling,
you're using.
There's a lot of cards that allow you to cull for free.
If you're going cruelty.
Right. And
if not, that's very difficult.
If you're going cruelty, you can cull for once for free on your turn.
Sure.
So I guess it would be interesting to see what would happen if you took an entire turn just culling your deck. I mean, you wouldn't have any cards, I suppose, but it would be interesting to see, I just got 4 points.
Yeah.
Just because I called a bunch. Not only do you have the tech tree, though, you also have, like we said, the alliances, the allies.
The allies you can get.
And then there's also controlling bonuses. And I don't remember the exact phraseology for this.
Realms.
Realms, I think is what it is.
4 realms.
Right. And there's 4 different realms, and there's 3 of each. So there's 12 territories total.
On the 34-player map.
Okay. I didn't realize that they were different.
2-player map.
Interesting.
Yeah. 2 realms. 2 territories in each realm.
Oh.
There's 8 areas in a 2-player game.
Interesting.
Which I don't know if I'd ever play as 2-player.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, you've got these territories that you're trying to conquer, and each one has not only the points that you get for the buildings that are there, for the fortresses or whatever they're called, but if you control majority of the territories for that realm, you also score it at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's 4, 8, 12.
Yep.
So if you can conquer quite a few territories, like a few of the same ones, you could potentially score quite a few points at the end of each
between
turn.
The realms and the fortified.
And this is more of a long-term strategy, because you're scoring a lot of points in the early game from controlling the castles.
If you can get them early.
Right? Because those are going to be a lot of points in the early game, and they're going to be nothing at the end, potentially. So these are a set amount of points. But a lot of different ways to get points. How do you think it compares to your 2 favorite game mechanisms?
I'll start with hand management. I think it's good. I think it's fun.
Yeah? Okay.
When you sit there on your turn, you have a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy. It almost feels like multi-use cards.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can use this card to build, or I can use this card to cull, or I can use this card to attack, or I can use this card to promote that card. But then some cards even just have actions on it. It's like, well, I'll use this card to move and give me a point, and then I can move again with my guy normally. So there's a lot you can do with your hand each turn. But I feel like if you're focusing too much on the cool stuff, you're not doing the stuff that is going to benefit you most. Because like you said, like getting some of those higher tiered buildings is really cool. You can use a lot of points to be had.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
But you have to be able... It's almost like you have to go that strategy.
You have to commit that if you want to get that before the end of the game.
And I personally spread out way too far in the beginning. I was like, I'll get this for this bonus, this for this bonus, this for this bonus, and it didn't do me any good.
Yeah. No. And then like if you're promoting your cards, that takes, especially you get up to that 3rd tier promotion, to have either 6 build or 6 attack to promote that 2nd tier to the 3rd tier, that's almost a turn in and of itself. And when there's 12 turns in the game, you've got to, really make sure that you're making the most of that. So hand management, I think, is good.
Okay.
The area control is a cool concept.
Yeah.
That the areas deteriorate in points the more they're fought over, which is kind of the opposite of another game I really enjoy, which is Cry Havoc.
Oh,
where
right.
as you fight in the area, you add more of those crystals
right.
for every battle, so that as the areas that are most fought in become the most profitable, which is different and cool.
Well, in that, it's like, go fight.
It promotes the fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this, it's like, stay away from me.
Yeah, and it promotes turtling, because if you go to try and conquer something, odds are you're going to be gaining less points after than they were gaining before.
And it also makes it frustrating when you get attacked, because it does promote turtling so much. It's like, why are you attacking me? Go away.
Yeah.
Go turtle over
This
there.
isn't helping either of us. I'm losing points. You're losing time. Go conquer another building.
It was interesting in the game that we had 2 people sorry, we had 4 people play.
4-player game, yeah.
2 people went Mercy, 2 people went Cruelty. One person in Mercy did really well, the other person did horrible. One person in Cruelty did really well, the other person did horrible.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that swing. Like, it can go both ways. But for me, this game isn't all out. It's totally fell flat for me.
It doesn't quite come together as well as I hoped it would.
Yeah. It does have a lot of cool concepts. I don't think I prefer I don't agree so much with the hand management. Yeah. I don't think that it's super strong, just because, it's...
Does it feel scripted?
It feels scripted. It feels like a deck builder. It's like, I have all these cards, I'm going to play all these cards. 5 new cards. Yeah. Very few turns where, like, I'm going to hold on to this card. Maybe
there's a lot you can do with the cards, but... it's a little more apparent what you should do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no. It almost feels like there's no choices.
Once you choose that strategy, that path, and once you start committing certain cards to your deck, if you're getting the cards that give you a lot of build, it's foolish to go try and conquer areas. It's gonna be very difficult to. You're gonna want to start building the structures and getting those tech tree. So I can see that. I think this game is going to. I don't know. I haven't played enough to say for sure. So I'd hope that this would be the case. But I think this game is going to reward, that metagame. Lots of plays with the same people, developing and counter, different people's strategies. Okay, he's going heavy on the builders. I need to go heavy. And really, because there is a little bit of leeway in what you can do, in the direction you go, but you have to know the intricacies of that to be able to play off of your opponents and that, subtle, I can't attack him the whole time. You know that if I attack him once, you got to go attack him type thing. Without it being, this king-making, let's go attack Bob because he's winning, because that's not fun for anyone.
No.
But it's there's a lot of rules, too. Like, it's not a simple game to teach and explain. It's not like you're going to bust it out and be like, hey, guys, this is a deck builder. Like, it's...
Yeah, there's quite a bit of intricacies with the promoting and the
calling and the mercy.
Yeah, it's... I mean, it's not super heavy. This game is going to appeal to a lot of people. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. This is not by any means a terrible game. Just not my style of game. I think that people who really like deck builders are going to love this.
Yes. Which neither of us are huge fans of deck builders.
No.
Less so you. I tolerate them, but there's got to be exceptions. That's why I gave this one a chance. But
yeah, for sure.
It's typically not my thing.
The area control people who love that battling for that spot and getting those points are gonna love this game.
Especially that dice-driven.
Yeah.
Because like you can mitigate it with the cards you play, which I thought would be a bigger part.
This is a lot of mechanics that I do not like.
There's a lot of hoping that you roll right with the dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll have its fans, but for 2 heavy Euro gamers like us,
sorry.
I can recommend it.
For sure.
Okay, yeah.
For sure. If you're coming to me with suggestions for deck builders, I'm going to say, this is a great deck builder. This is going to give you a lot of...
If you're tired of normal deck builders...
Yeah, with a really good twist on it. Yeah. Just not for us. But thanks for watching, guys.
Yep.
Try to put out a positive one next time.
We don't really do many reviews where we are kind of...
Yeah, and we thought we would. I mean, we don't want to throw like hate out there or anything like that. That's not our intention here.
No.
We just want to give you guys our opinion. This is our opinion of the game. It's in the minority or the majority or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. This is
how we feel.
Strictly our opinion, and you might feel differently. And this could be the best game in the world, and we don't see it. But thanks anyways, guys.
Yeah.
We know we got a lot of supporters out there and a lot of fans. So keep tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe.
Don't unsubscribe.
I don't know what I just said. I don't know what he
said, but don't do it.
Don't do that. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And take care. Thanks, guys.
See ya.